If you've enjoyed the content we've made so far in 2024, we're asking you to pick up a Kinda Funny membership on patreon.com/kindafunny or youtube.com/kindafunnygames to say thanks as part of August's Kinda Funny membership drive. That 10 spot would get you access to more than 130 exclusive episodes of content. And to give you a taste, we're posting one of the exclusive Gregways just like this each and every Saturday and Sunday in August. On top of that, make sure you join us for weekly public happy hours where we take Patreon member calls live for everyone as previews of what a Kinda Funny membership gets you each and every month.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to a Gregway in the car. It's Wednesday, April 10th. The Fallout embargo is up, and you can go listen to our review of the show on the Kinda Funny Gamescast. I'm gonna clear my throat. Cough seems much better today. Much better talking to you now. I do still have it. I still have been hacking the lung up here and there, but like right now I don't feel I have as much of a hoarse throat nor as much of a catch, right? What I mean is, of course, if I breathe in too deeply, it'll set off the cough. There you go. But I feel like once I get one out, I'm good for a little bit. But we'll see, because again, I haven't podcasted yet this morning, believe it or not. We're going to go to Patreon, and we're going to answer a question from Jeff the Maverick. He is asking, don't hang up yet, don't turn off the show yet. He's asking about what I was alluding to with Bluey the other day in the episode Ghost Basket. I will address that. But before that, I will give you more of a spoiler-free, hey, here's what Bluey is, because I know I talk about it here in passing. Bluey is second nature to me, but I imagine if you have no children, you've just seen me or Gary Witta talk about it and you don't know what's up. And then I will at some point say, okay, now we're going into spoilers for the new Bluey episode and the episode premise for what's coming this week. So, Sunday, right? On the 14th? I digress. So, if you don't have a child in your life, you might have missed Bluey. I know what your life is like because there's a distinct before and after moment for me with Paw Patrol, where years and years and years ago, I guess 8 years ago, right, when Poe's son Jack, who you all know now from streaming, was 2.5, 3 years old, I went and visited them for a wedding, stayed with them, and that's when Jack still had his Paw Patrol birthday stuff up in the kitchen. That's what he was watching. Those were the toys. Those were the PJs. And I had never heard of or had a cognizant thought about Paw Patrol. And then once I spent that weekend with Jack, I then looked around and it was like, oh, Paw Patrol's everywhere. Every kid has something Paw Patrol on. Every kid's got a Paw Patrol toy. I see the show now on a Amazon thumbnail or whatever it was back in the day. Like, it was one of those things. So, even if you don't know Bluey, I would venture to guess you know Bluey. You have seen this little blue dog and her family. It's on Disney Plus. It's out of Australia. It's on season 3 right now. They do a weird rollout though, so they're like doing, like I think, last season was like 50 plus episodes. We're at 48 right now for season 3. They're short, usually about 8 minutes long. Get you in, get you out. Very catchy theme song in the front that everybody dances to. It's brought Keepy Uppy to the world, which of course is getting a balloon and bouncing it up and keeping it up with your friends and family. Like I said, if you were to walk a toy aisle, you would see Bluey stuff. If you have a child in your life or tangentially in your life, they would know Bluey. I would imagine you could see things they're doing. This is a conversation I had with Jack because, of course, Bluey is a cartoon. And it's one of those, like, I'm never sure how cartoons work anymore with kids. So, like, when Jack was here, you know, he's 10 going on 11. It was a question of, like, he's like, I know Bluey, yeah. I'm like, do you watch Bluey? He's like, I don't watch Bluey. I'm like, do people in your school, your grade, watch Bluey? He's like, yes, they do. I was like, okay. So Bluey's got this big crossover, right? But the idea is that Bluey is about the Healer family. You have Mom, you have Dad. Mom is Chili, Dad is Bandit. And then you have Bluey and Bingo, who are sisters. Bluey is the big sister, Bingo is the little sister. And it's a show told through their perspective for the most part, right? What's going on in their life, the game they're playing, what they're doing at school, yada, yada, yada. But the brilliance of Bluey is that it is a cartoon. I used to talk about this with Tiny Toons when I was a kid, or when I grew up and rewatched Tiny Toons like in my teens and beyond, right? That a good cartoon entertains the child, but then has things in there for Mom and Dad. I remember distinctly when I was old but still watching Tiny Toons when they did like a Pulp Fiction parody. And I was like, oh, a kid watching this would never understand this is Pulp Fiction. But obviously if you had an adult in the room who had seen that, they would be like, oh, well, this is fun. Bluey, I would say, is honestly a cartoon that is designed for adults. Like, and I don't mean as adult concepts. I mean, it is like, you can put this on, entertain your child, they'll enjoy it, they'll want the toys, they'll find new games to play. But the story of what's going on, for the most part, and this is like, you know, maybe more season 2 to 3, is about adult themes and all these different things for you as a parent, right? Like, I always say, a Bluey episode is designed to make mom and dad cry. And there's a whole bunch of them in there where, like, it's Bluey and, you know, Bingo, and it's their adventures, but it's always Chili and Bandit having to deal with the adult problems and the parenting problems, right? And a lot of people would point to a whole bunch of different episodes. Like, there's an episode that's recounting Bluey learning to walk, right? And how she was a late start. And, like, you know, everyone usually brings that up because there's a segment where, you know, Bluey is she's early on everything, and then all of a sudden she's just late on walking. And so Chili feels like she's a failure, and another mom shows up when she skips the mom class, you know, to tell her, like, you're doing great. And she cries because that's all she needed to hear, right? And that's what parents need to hear a lot. Like, that's not the thrust of the episode. If you're a kid watching it, it's very much about mom telling Bluey and Bingo a story, right? And, like, you know, the lesson of, like, you're not good at everything right away, and you see blah, blah. So it's like, there's that, and then there's, like, this will sound super heavy, and it is, but it's one of those you'd have to be looking for it, right? Where there's this whole subplot that, you know, not even a subplot, I guess. There's one like very distinct reference that writers have confirmed that the read from the audience is correct, right? Where Bluey and Bingo are doing a, like, stage play on the veranda, right? Where they're coming in from the sides for their parents. And they're, you know, basically telling their version of mom and dad falling in love, right? And Bingo walks in with a balloon up her shirt to say, and she's like, because, you know, mommy's pregnant with Bluey or whatever, but the balloon pops unexpectedly. And Bandit reaches over, or I forget who it is. I think Bandit reaches over and grabs Chili's hand. And, like, from that one little shot that's, like, again, blink and you miss it kind of thing, the audience is like, oh my God, Chili had a miscarriage before she ever had Bluey. And the writer's like, yeah, that's true. That is what we wanted you to get out of that. And so it's that kind of shit where it's like, there's an estranged relationship between Chili and her sister. You know, they're dealing with the fact their parents are going to die. Like, there's all these things in there, let alone their kids growing up and trying to hold on to that and da-da-da, you know what I mean? Like, it's a show designed to make you cry. So you're used to that. You're ready to ride the emotions. And again, this is 8 minutes, by the way. These are 8-minute episodes that you're getting devastated by whatever they're trying to do to you. But they're just masters of it, right? Because, again, it's a show, like, another great one is when they're trying to get, and I'm fucking probably the actual plot's up, right? Because I'm parenting Ben in the middle of it. But another one is where there's, like, this whole thing of Bingo dreaming, right? And she's out in space, but she's sad and, like, this, that, the other. And, like, eventually, like, her mom comes to her, and it's, like, the warmth of the sun, the dream, but it's actually her mom in the bed, you know, cradling her. And there's this, you know, mom says, like, no matter what, I'll always love you, even if I'm not there. It's like one of those, like, oh my God, you know what I mean? Like, they just fucking swing for your head with every episode of these things. Or your heart, I guess, technically. Anyways, now let's jump into spoilers. So, as I said in the last one, there's 2 episodes that are coming up, not out of the blue, they warned us, but, like, all of a sudden it's like, oh, 2 episodes, that's interesting. And so, there's last week's episode, Ghost Basket, which is available on Disney Plus, and internationally somewhere else, I'm sure. And then this weekend on the 14th is The Sign. The Disney Plus Ghost Basket episode is a usual 8 minutes. The Sign is something like 28 minutes. Like, it's a giant episode. And everybody's like, what the hell's going on there? We didn't know. So, the episode with Ghost Basket starts very much in the usual Bluey way of Bandit's in the car. He's pretending to be somebody else, psyching himself up to sell a house. He gets out, and Chili's pretending to be somebody else, coming to look to buy the house they live in currently, right? And then the girls show up, and they're the grannies who are reoccurring characters. And, you know, the grannies don't want the house to get sold, and yada, 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 blah, blah. We go through the entire episode, you know, at the end, you know, Dad, as the character in this pretend game they're playing, you know, helps get Mom out of the house so the grannies can have the house back. Hooray! And then at the last shot is Chili, like, running out or whatever, and they pan back from the house, and there's a for sale sign in the front yard of Bluey's house. And that's how they broke the news to all of us as viewers that the Healer family is moving. And it's like super fucking like, you know what I mean? And then like on top of that, the credits start and the music dies. Like usually they play the music throughout and then maybe they'll have one of the dogs dancing or whatever. Like it just dies because they know they just hit you like a ton of bricks. And it was one of those like, I saw that, couldn't believe it. Jen came into the room. I explained it to her. Then today, Ben was having, he's been out of shape this morning or whatever, so I started a Bluey. Usually if Ben's in there and he wants to watch a cartoon, it's hard to get him to start with Bluey. He wants people playing with toys. He just wants to go to YouTube and see kids playing with monster trucks or whatever. So like, started Bluey, that lured him to the couch. And then, you know, we watched this episode. And even then, at the end of it, Jen knew what was coming and still got choked up. And it's that thing of they made us care so much about this fucking dog family that you're like, what does this mean? And that's the thing, is we don't know what it means, right? Like, are they just moving across town? Are they moving to a different city? Like, we don't know it at all. So when that episode went live, I guess, or maybe I just didn't pay attention. That episode went live, the Sign synopsis got put out. And I think I'm right about this because I immediately went to Reddit, in the Bluey Reddit, when I saw the end of Ghost Basket. And there was people there like, the sign must be the for sale sign, da da. And then the synopsis I saw online had posted, and it was like, yeah, you know, the Healers are selling their house and Bluey's not happy about it. So it's 28 minutes of that. Sorry everybody, I got a business call here in 3 minutes, so my alarm went off to let me know. It worked, that's good. So anyways, we don't know what it means. Are they moving really far away? Are they staying in town? Because again, it's not just the Healer family we love, right? It's Winton, the little fucking dog. It's the bulldog. It's Snickers, the wiener dog. Like, if I'm guessing there's moving somewhere in town. But being realistic and the lessons this show is trying to teach, I don't think it's I don't think it's past the writers and stuff to be like, no, they're leaving Australia. They're going wherever. They're doing, like, they could make a huge move here. And I don't know, it's crazy. Chili works for the TSA or airport security in Australia, whatever they call it. And then Bandit's an archaeologist. So we don't know what we're getting into. Those are jobs that could move, obviously. But it's crazy. It's insane. It has rocked the Bluey world. That is me and Jen. So, you know, we're very, very excited to see. I'm trepidatious to see. But, like, you know, I'm anticipating this episode more than I was Fallout, more than I was Invincible, you know, more than, I was going to say any recent movie, but fuck that, Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, come on, what up, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. We'll see, but that's the big thing that, like, they dropped on all of us, and it was like, holy shit. Because we care so much about this little stupid family because they're part of our family, you know what I mean? Like, they're there to coach the parents, not even coach, I guess, counsel, to tell parents you're doing all right, you know what I mean, to show, because that's the other thing too, is like, Chili and Bandit aren't perfect parents. Like, they fuck up. Like, and not like, you know, like, they beat the kid fuck up, but like, they fuck up and like, you take away that, like, no parent's perfect and this, that, and the other. And like, again, it's encouraging for you as a parent as much as it is for a child to see it. So, I digress. That is the spoilers for what's happening in the Bluey world right now. I'm very excited to see on Sunday what happens, but perhaps I'll be devastated as well. I mean, the biggest thing is that guaranteed this is an episode we'll have to watch without Ben. There's no way I'm getting Ben to sit there for 28 minutes of Bluey. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes I can get him into 2 of them back to back, but then he wants to watch these motherfucking kids with their cars. I digress. I have a business call to jump on, ladies and gentlemen. Until next time, it's been my pleasure to serve you.